So Bernadette's in town. That's great. Tell me what you like about her game. Like what kind of like stood out to you that was like, she's going to come to Indiana?
Yeah. We signed Betty a year ago, and she didn't come for a number of reasons. One of which was she got COVID, and just felt like she really wasn't ready to take this next step. But this year she's had a great year over in Hungary. They won their league title, which was very competitive. They also made it to the EuroLeague Final Four. And she played heavier minutes this year than she did a year ago. She just was able to progress beyond the COVID infection that she had, and just had a really solid year all the way around. At 6'10", I think she gives us a unique weapon to use at both ends of the floor. Like I said, she's matured in her game. I think the extra year really, really helped her. The quality of their overall team's performance for the year was outstanding. They basically excelled in every event that they competed in. She was able to compete in Eurobasket. And as a matter of fact, that was a pretty big performance for her. The team didn't advance to the final round, which will be held in June. But in the one game Betty was able to play, which is her first game back from COVID, she had a double-double, had 22 points and I think like 10 rebounds. And I was pretty surprised. That convinced me that she was doing all the right things to position herself to come over here and be a part of what we're doing. So just a little background. Sorry, I kind of went off.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Did she get to turn the legs over today?
Yeah, she's, again, at 6'10", just gives us a weapon that you don't see ordinarily. She has really good hands. She runs the floor well. Probably one of the most willing screeners that I've ever seen. I mean, this young lady will get her teammates open, and then it's a problem because she's rolling to the basket or she slips screens very well. Her understanding of the game is really good, and she's just a great teammate. So I think that she's going to find her niche pretty quickly, and she'll help us, like I said, at both ends of the floor.
Excellent. Thank you, Coach. Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Erica Ayala.
Thank you much. Hey there, Coach, and happy Saturday to you.
Yeah, thanks. Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you much. I have two questions for you. One, thinking about what you and the coaching staff are looking to assess throughout the game, and then, of course, after coming out of training camp. And then also, if you could talk about your latest addition to the coaching staff in Vicki Hall.
Okay. Yeah, as far as what we're looking for, we've worked hard in training camp, even though it's only been like 10 or 11 days, to kind of establish a defensive identity for ourselves. Like it's no secret. We fell short of the mark last year defensively, and we want to improve that, and noticeably so, and right away. So we've worked hard on that. Our effort has been good. The attitude has been good. And this will be the first test against another team. We're a little bit tired of playing against each other at this stage, as every team gets to in training camp. But that's first and foremost, a solid defensive effort where there's great communication, great effort. And then, just getting up and down the floor. We want to have a pace of play that allows us to play in the open court, as well as have a balanced attack inside and out. And everything begins with, are we getting stops and able to get out and run a little bit? Are we able to, swing the ball from side to side and execute? And again, it's only 10 or 11 days in with a fairly new team, a lot of new faces, and we're progressing nicely, but now we get a chance to test ourselves against somebody else. And as far as Vicki, I'm thrilled to have Vicki Hall join our staff, as one of the most recognized women basketball players ever to come out of the state of Indiana. She's a great addition. Her passion for the game is unmatched. I mean, this is a woman who, played professionally for 16 years, went through the rigors for a long, long time, both here in the U.S. and overseas. I think she can relate to the experience of the players, both on the professional level as well as, overseas. And she just brings a tremendous amount of knowledge of the game and an ability going back to her playing days to figure out ways to be effective, whether it's as a guard, a forward, scoring, defending, all the way around. And You're not going to find anybody who works harder nor has a greater passion for basketball than Vicki Hall. So I feel like we're really fortunate to have her join our staff. And, I really like our staff. All of our staff members work very, very hard. And, their mission and their passion is to help players individually and collectively be better each day. And that's been evidenced by how we've been practicing. It's been really outstanding.
Tully, let's go with you.
Coach Tully, I miss you.
I'm just getting my video on for you, matey.
Man, I can't
How
wait
you
to see
doing?
Coach Tully. Coach Tully!
Good to see you. Good to see you. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? I mean, it's been a crazy. The last season you had the bubble, had to go through all the mandatory testing and stuff, which obviously you're still following now with protocol, but now you're back in Indiana. How are you feeling? I mean, obviously you've been overseas and stuff. How's the body? You like ready to go, ready to hit that court?
Yeah, I feel really good. I think the biggest change I made was mentally. I think back to like times I was with you and like just shooting with you at rookie year, and where I'm at now, I think mentally I've just like, I don't know, the game has kind of slowed down for me. The process of becoming a professional has slowed down. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think I prepare myself from a standpoint of being able to compete overseas against some of the best players with the Turkish League and the Euro Cup. So it's kind of preparing me, and then you come back and train here with some of the best in the WNBA. So hopefully I prepare myself, especially based on the things that you've always taught me. Just shot preparation and stuff like that. So, we'll see, but I think I feel pretty good about, where our team can go and where our team chemistry is at.
I mean, it's true. It's like, when you first get in the league, it's like the clock inside your head is just like spinning quickly. And I just saw a huge development in your game, like last year in the bubble, and the elevation you took. Coming back into this year, a lot of new faces.
Yeah,
a lot of new teammates to get used to playing with. How are you gelling with the new faces in the team?
It's a really good thing. It's different because they're new faces, but it's not a bad thing because we all get a chance to learn one another. It's like there's no one that that knows one too well. So with that being said, we kind of take this time in training camp to kind of get ourselves together and adjust based on what each person brings to the table. And we kind of go from there. So it's a good feeling. It's a unique one because the unknown, you just don't know. But I think we've all prepared ourselves, the coaches, the players, the whole staff, to kind of like put ourselves in a position to try to make this thing a good one.
Good, awesome. How's that right hand of yours? You been keeping up on that?
Coach, I'm coming, Coach Tully. Because we used to work on it. Like the right hand layups, I made strides though. I mean, defensively, I think I've, been able to be in the right position and be able to hopefully guard people like Jewel and Allie Quigley. I'll be a little bit better at. Competing against Tiffany Mitchell in practice on the daily and being able to come off screens for Tori. Those pure shooters. So you just kind of always got to be ready. So hopefully I'm preparing myself to kind of like be a little bit better. And we'll see. But the right hand is coming. It's coming along.
I know.
All because of you.
Yeah. Hey, we got it going. So Big T, like, because she spent a bit of time in Indy in the off season and stuff, working out. How have you seen her improvement coming into training camp this year?
T's running the floor tremendously well. It's amazing. It's one of those things where it's like, because T is so big, like she don't have to do much moving. Her ability to run the floor is the one thing that stood out to me. It's amazing because if she can run the floor, there's no excuse for any of us, So it's a good thing. I think where Coach Marianne wants us to go as far as, offensively and defensively, being able to run and compete with everybody, run is a big deal. So if T can do it, I think it's going to put us in a position to, be on both sides of the ball to be really good.
Well, I think maybe people have underestimated, early on the Indiana Fever. I mean, you got you on the one wing, you got Tori extending on the other wing, which is then just going to open up the floor for Big T in the middle, and obviously for you drivers, it's actually pretty exciting. When you get that whole group on the floor. So, hey, matey, good luck tomorrow. All the best, and I can't wait to see you down at Fieldhouse soon.
Yes, ma'am. Tell the family I said hello.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Tully. Erica Ayala.
Thank you much. I love that exchange. That was fun to listen in on.
I'll tell you, that's one of my favorites when I first got into the league. Like she kind of like took me on our wing to kind of just like slow my mind down to where it was going, and kind of just, take each day at a time, because I struggled a bit trying to adjust. So.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. I love the love. But going off of that, and maybe some of what Coach Tully gave you, when you enter into a situation like you will tomorrow, you're going to get an opportunity to run with another team, but this is still very much a part of the process. For you, what are some of the barometers or the things that you'll be looking for to hit and be in stride with? And how do you think that plays into the larger game of peaking at the right time?
Yeah, I think for me individually, being able to step on the court is I'm always grateful for that, first and foremost. And then secondly, being able to compete against another team. It's different, a little bit more, discreet. You got to be a little bit more discreet. You got to be more aggressive. You got to be more in a competitive mindset, because you don't get your doors blew open if you're not. When you're playing a team like Chicago, you kind of always have to prepare for everything. So that's a big deal. I think as a team, this is the right time for us to peak. We're pretty young. We're new. And like I said, the unknown factor and not knowing what's going to happen. I mean, we have nothing else to lose. So.
I love that. I have another one for you real quick. I wanted to ask you a little bit about the jerseys that y'all have unveiled. I mean, y'all got Satu Sabali watching Stranger Things, but that, that fits into a larger narrative that we've seen, not just around the jerseys, but even around the 2020 season, where WNBA is starting to, infiltrate and penetrate kind of more pop culture spaces. Asia Wilson in a whole music video, your thoughts on that, being in the league for a few years now and seeing that growth this year.
It's amazing. Like seeing Asia Wilson, a really, good friend of mine, seeing her in that music video just goes to show how great she is, first and foremost, and where her career is going, but also being able to adapt to this era. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to be, but this era is different, and being able to adapt to what's new and what's popping in the culture, and being able to adapt and utilize that in this league is a really big deal, because it's kind of an expression of us and who we are as women. So it's a big deal. I think the Stranger Things, I mean, I didn't expect it to pop this much. I have like NBA, buddies of mine like asking for the jersey, like I got access to it. So it's a really big deal, if they asking.
I love it. And then finally, something that you just mentioned jogged my mind, especially with Tully here. But, this is 25 seasons of the WNBA. So while there's this new wave, there's also, it seems as though at the league level, an opportunity for players that have played throughout those 24 seasons leading into season 25 to also be engaged and involved. I'm just curious your thoughts on the importance, perhaps, of being able to have that overlap of building toward the future while also remembering and honoring what has come before.
It's like the best of both worlds. Like it's great the way you put it, because like we wouldn't be here without them. Like Tully, the Coopers, the Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, Staley. It's like without them, where we at? Like Rebecca Lobo. Like, it's important to like recognize, the way they paid for us. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be here without that, because unfortunate, not unfortunate for them, but their experience is obviously different than ours. And so we get a chance to express ourselves, and in the back of our minds, we got to realize that, it's a long time coming, that open expression of being accepted for who we are as women. And you can't do nothing but respect and love the ones that did it before us. So it's a big deal to be here in the 25th season. And me individually, I'm very grateful to be here.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Erica. Last one, LB.
Kelsey, how are you?
Hey, hon.
I'm curious, do you remember, with this being the first game back in over a year now at Bankers Life, even though it's just a preseason game, but still it's back at BLF. Do you remember the last time you played at BLF? And I'm really testing you here, because you should remember the last time you played at BLF, but I'm curious because
the last time I played here. No, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, the last one, I'll help you out. It was September 8th, 2019. You went off. It was the last game of the season. Hit 9 threes. You had a career high 38 points.
Yeah.
So, how does it feel? Now knowing that, because I know you remember that night now, take me back to that feeling, and then how great it's going to be, to be back at BLF the first time in like a little over a year.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. That day was obviously a big one for me. Got a lot of, like love from it, but I always expect myself to, do things and be great like that. Fortunately for us, we didn't make the playoffs, but that game was just kind of like individually, it was just one of those things where it held me accountable to know like I got to put in work to be where I want to be and, show, my abilities and what I bring to the game. As far as BLF and being here, it's exciting. I'll say that it's exciting. I remember shooting down there a couple of days ago during training camp. It just felt so surreal. Like you miss it. You don't know how to feel. It's weird because like you don't know like back then I had a feel for the rim. It's like everything is new. You know what I'm saying? The locker room is new. Everything is just new. So it's kind of like I'm like a kid in the candy store right now. Hopefully I can like slow it down in my mind and kind of get where I want to with it.
Love it. And my final question for you is, you mentioned things have slowed down. You're evolving in that way. Your game is starting to slow down in every aspect. So how do you approach preseason now compared to how you approached it maybe a couple years ago when you were still like a young rookie?
Honestly, I approached preseason so horrible. Like it wasn't horrible. It was just me being a kid, me not knowing, me like thinking I gotta have it right then and there, me thinking that it's gonna come right then and there. It's a slow grind. So I think this preseason, I think the things I want to focus on is just like being able to be in the moment and like slow things down. I think the mental follows the physical. And so if I can, vice versa and like get that going, I think my preseason will be a decent one if I just focus on the task at hand and focus on what's important and kind of let things just come. So.
Hey, Katie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Showing off the guns again, like always. You didn't really get, like we've mentioned this before, last year, everything going on with the pandemic, you didn't get a training camp, you didn't get a preseason. So take me through kind of how you're feeling kind of going into your first official preseason game, second year of the first preseason game.
Yeah, it's definitely very exciting to have somewhat of a normal season, having that training camp where you can get to know your teammates and just get a little more experience under your belt before you're playing against other teams is really nice. It's definitely like a confidence builder. And I think I'm most excited that we can have a normal season where it's like people aren't having to play heavy minutes like back to back, like only having one day off in between games. So we can like actually practice and scrimmage and really go at each other and practice. And I think that's definitely going to help me as a young player in the league. Like I need to be playing against these caliber of players every day in practice, and that's only going to make me better. So I can already feel that happening for me. So that's really exciting. So I'm excited to get to it.
Nice. And how are you, I guess, what is your approach to preseason? Because I feel like there can be a plethora of different emotions and feelings going into it, whether you're a vet or a young player in the league. So what kind of is your approach? What are you focusing on as you get ready for these first two preseason games?
Yeah, I'm trying to just take every opportunity I get and make the most of it. That's really all you can do when you're a young player in the league. Like nothing is guaranteed. I'm just going to go out there and do my best to help the team win, and that's all I'm going to focus on. I'm not thinking about myself. I'm just trying to take advantage of opportunities and do what I'm supposed to do and do it well and help the team win. So that's always been my mindset, no matter what position I'm in, whether I'm a veteran on a team or whether I'm in the position I am in now. I'm just going to go out there and do my best to help the team win.
And final question for you. How excited are you finally to get a chance to play on the actual court at VLF? I feel like that was something you guys got robbed of last year. So you've had a little chance, I think, to shoot on there during training camp, but now you're actually about to play on the court.
Yeah, I got to work out there a couple times while I was in Indy prior to training camp. So it's definitely such a fun atmosphere, just being in that area, like in that arena, and it's just a different vibe. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's very exciting. And I played there for the Big Ten tournament for 4 years in college. So I know that the type of energy that it carries being in Indiana, and it's just such a nice facility. So I'm definitely excited to be playing on that setting.
Thanks.
Thanks,
LB. Tully.
All right. G'day, Kathleen. How you going, matey?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. I haven't had the chance to officially meet you. Obviously, a rookie year in the bubble.
Yes.
It kind of must be like a little feeling of being in a rookie year now, going through like the media day experience. Yeah. I mean, to the magnitude that it is. How much fun is that for you at the
Yeah,
moment?
it's been really fun, like just all of it, honestly. Like
Mm.
I definitely don't take any situation or opportunity I have for granted. So just being able to come in here every day and have this awesome locker room, getting to practice against these great players every single day, having the opportunity to be on this team, and just, yeah, I don't know, like media day, that was fun, like just different stuff that I definitely didn't get to experience while in the bubble. So it's like, in a way, I'm a rookie again, just figuring out these new experiences, but it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. And I definitely have to get my hands on one of those Stranger Things
Yeah,
jerseys, because yeah, they look pretty awesome. Who are some of the players that you kind of like look to on the team or use as your mentors? Obviously, quite a few different faces coming into the season this year. You know, you had your Candaces and that last year. Who on this team this year, you kind of like, you know, some of your mentors?
Yeah, I feel like it kind of depends. Like if I'm playing point guard, then I'm definitely talking with Lindsay and D-Rob, just trying to get their take on things. But if I'm on the wing, I'll talk to, you know, Tiff or Kelsey, like honestly, whoever I'm guarding at that time. Like if I have a question, I just go to them. But I mean, we have a lot of great vets on this team. So and like, even like off the court stuff, like I go to tell, like there's just so many people that are willing to help you. So that's a really good feeling, and really great players to look up to.
Awesome. Well, you've got a good preseason matchup tomorrow against Chicago. What are some of the goals that you want to kind of like get out of tomorrow's game individually?
I think, well, I just want to, like I said earlier, like I just want to take advantage of any playing time I'm getting, just trying to make the most of it and making the right play at the right time. I'm going to go out there and play hard and just do my thing. And I really try not to think about myself. Like I just look at it from a team perspective, because if the team is succeeding, that means everyone on the court is succeeding. So I think coach is taking a good approach to it. She's just more focused on us than she is about Chicago. She just wants us to go out there and do what we've been practicing well. And that's what I'm going to focus on.
Awesome. Well, I love your attitude and I love your defensive hustle, matey. So good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
And we'll see you at Bankers Life.
Thanks. I appreciate that.